All right, everybody. My kids are still napping, so I'm recording another video. This time I want to talk about recover. Because recover is not a thing you should play right now. In Standard Legion, recover is good for specifically one type of army, and that army might be Cad Bane or Darth Maul. Okay, I said one, and then I named two things. It's not awful for infiltrate heroes, right? Jin, Cassian, Lando? Question mark. Cassian's a little bit of a question mark. Iden. And then Inferno, because they're a 6-point hero unit. So I'm here in the mod, checking out one of the new tables. You can find this in the photo scan terrain pack. It's on the workshop. You can see how Blitz fits so nice on the new table art. Oh, it's glorious. Um, but yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. It's spicy. It's different. These little cargo containers are tall enough to block a dude. I've spawned up a couple lists here, but I just want to talk through the logistics of. Look at that, nice. So you can hide. I've got them marked as light cover, but whatever, do what you want. Okay, let's look at. You know what? I don't know if recover's in here. I imported these lists, but I don't remember what any of the things are. Let's just edit this one real quick. Oh, I'm gonna get ready to record this video, and then I'm not even gonna do the thing that I wanted to do. Take payload out. Put recover in. Go back to Jason. All right. Auto tint. I noticed these guys aren't tinting particularly well. That's a bug. Oh, there's always a bug. All right, so this is ignore my ping. I'm pinging errantly, just like in real life. This is not a list you would normally sort of consider a recover list, but I think just about everything can play recover meaningfully. Maybe this is maybe not exactly the thing, but like this over here would be great at recover. Dooku, couple black suns in here. Black sun over here, black sun over here. One with the mags, one with the scatter. B2s, B1s. It's kind of a mess. It's a goofy list. These are both game night lists. These are not sweating it out lists. But this one is real scary in Blitz, which is part of what I think is so fun. Is I think the floor on the number of viable lists goes way up in Blitz, and mostly because all of the objectives are in play for every kind of list, which is why recovery I think is such a compelling thing to look at here. Why am I obsessed with moving all these? I can't stop. I've started, now I can't stop. Okay. So we're gonna do turn 0. We're gonna pretend this guy's blue. And then we're gonna pick recover no matter what, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, get out of here. All right, so we'll cut that. We'll cut that. We'll say Dooku wants that one. So what do the clones want to do here? We got Cody, we got a commander, we got some shotgun boys who are gonna hop out of the lats. We got lats, we got R2. We got a couple P1s to get orders and do fire sports. So let's say we want to play clear because we don't want to let Dooku's dudes wrap it in. We don't want to wrap it in Black Suns. Man, I was just talking about Disarray and how fun it would be, and this list would love it. But let's, for the sake of sanity, and only looking at one little bit of chaos here, let's cut that and we'll proceed to battle lines. Nice and straightforward. So as a reminder, we type Blitz in here. You toggle that, and you're back in business. You're back in business. So very nice. All right. 2, 3, 4, and 5. You could go up here to options grid. You could turn snapping to lines. If you're setting up intercept or recover or even hostage, this is a great move. You'll see it'll snap. You can see it. I'm pointing at the screen, but you can't see my hand. I'm pointing at the screen. It's over there. It'll snap. You can kind of see the little ghost token. See that ghost token? Tells you where it's gonna go. Snap it right there. Now you know it's dead center. But then don't forget to go turn this back off, because otherwise deployment's a real pain. All right, so we pretended this guy was blue. He's got to put this beyond 1, right? That's how recover works. Yeah, I have not played recover in forever because it's only good for one type of list. I almost never put it in there, or it's one of those things if you put it in there and you're the blue player, the red player cuts it because they're like, I'm not doing this. I'm not chasing you a mile for the rest of the game. It's just lousy. It's just a terrible, terrible condition. But they got to be beyond one of each other. Yeah, so look at this. Look how spicy you can get with this. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put one right here. So I got line of sight blocker here to help me on this approach. This is very good. Yeah, it's very good. We'll do that. Cool, and then we'll go probably over here. Oh, red gets to put one down. Now red can start thinking about a zone, and this is part of what it's hard to zone in Blitz, but you could zone a little bit, right? If you're red. Nah, they got lats. I don't know if you risk putting one up that far. None of these block line of sight particularly well once you get out of here. This side's definitely the safer side. So if we're red, we got B1s where it's blue over here because I didn't pay a ton of attention to what I was doing. You're going to have to use a little bit of your imagination. Yeah, we're going to let our B1s just do this, and they'll be pretty safe back here. While they do it, that's cool. Now, if you're blue, you're like, okay, I'm on this side. He's going to try to stack up here and push this way. Let me give the long-range team something to do. And they could get up. This guy's only height 1, I think. Yeah, this guy's height 1, so all sorts of stuff could get up here. So we'll do that. We'll put this one over here. That'll be the second blue one. Let's flip these so we can keep track. And then red is gonna put their other box right over here. Magnets can scale up here. Anybody else got anything super interesting? No, not particularly. Okay, so these are the spots for the things. Let's talk about it now, right? Like, historically, right, best case scenario for Sinner is it's range 2 from like major or battle lines in this case, right? This is remember, the board is the same size this way. It's just shorter this way. Although this is about the width of almost all the action in your game anyway. Unless you're doing something goofy where stuff can't contribute, which shouldn't be a thing, right? Are there lists that are still built for this and especially good at it? Yes, of course. Yoda Chewie still gets this and runs away. Infiltrate lists can still be right there. CAD can still be right there. Maul still has 3 actions, right? Like the stuff that's good at this is still pretty good at it. Fast units are still really good at it, right? Your speed 3 core and special forces. Are there speed 3 core? I don't think so. I don't know. Right? Moving 8's still a big deal. It still lets you clear a command. Stop snapping to that little button. It still lets you clear you know, a range band. That's still huge. Being able to close or clear a range band is massive. It remains massive. It's hugely advantageous. What you can't do is you can't pick this thing up and then run all the way over here. Right? And that's why these lists that would normally not do this are actually very good at this. I think most lists that want to play KP are also viable recover lists. Now, like you still have to watch out for the extreme cases, right? But even if CAD starts right here, okay, they played a 3-pip. You have options, right? Like, and you're not far away. And he can only run so far, right? And like, maybe this isn't necessarily the absolute most safest recover map because there's not a line of sight blocker within range at mid. But I mean, that's always a little bit of a tricky design thing anyway, because you don't want to make mid too safe for anything, right? You don't want to have an intercept point here that one team can completely castle behind and be in range and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. Something to think about. But I really, when you look at the board in this sort of arrangement, right? Like we're not dealing with boxes out here that my snipers are gonna go pick up, right? Like a sniper B1 will probably go pick this one up, right? If we start thinking about how's deployment gonna go, these guys will show up over here. Um, you know, now they have to go second, so technically somebody's got to come down over here first. And I think if you're red, what you do actually is you do one of these. You go ahead and you get this guy down. Where's a good spot for him? This is a pretty good spot. Use the shadow there to make sure you land right on the edge. Right, we're going to set up at a bit of an angle here, but this gives us cover from this half the board. Right, over here, not so much, but if it gets up too far this way, we'll get cover again from this big thing. I don't want to talk about vehicle cover, that's a battle for another day. Right now, we're fixing everything else wrong with the game. We'll deal with cover some other time. And I think, you know, like maybe this is not a terrible spot for this guy. Gotta kind of fudge it because we don't want to. I mean, I don't think you want to be this bold. Maybe you do. Can he fit through here? Not in one move. So he could move up to here and then turn 2, move around one of these. Oh, that's mean. Yeah, we'll set up over here. So we'll go boom. We'll let them put down. We'll go ahead and go boom. Put this guy here. Because we want to make sure we leave ourselves room. We don't want to box these guys out. Don't ask me what happens when you can't fit in the deployment zone. I don't know. Don't know. I think there's plenty of room on battle lines. Don't do that. I think there's a little bit of unwritten don't be an idiot in the rules. All right, so they've committed to these goobers. So let's, can we get a range 4 shot here? I don't think so. No, they deployed back in their zone on the back edge. Very nice. But we'll go ahead and we don't act with this list. We don't have to go. That will get us a move shoot. So we'll put everybody on the back here. Try to save ourselves from getting aim shot by those DC-15s or whatever. And then we'll have a nice wide. I don't want to go quite there because I don't want to block off this little safety zone. This little nook is not a bad nook, right? As we're thinking about our deployments here. Okay, so there's 2 apiece. So it's back over here, and we'll just put shotgun boys in a lat to kind of buy ourselves some time. This is part of what I think is super compelling about Blitz, right? You're not really, typically on a 6x3, because you can deploy so much stuff in relative safety, or complete safety, right? You're not giving away much. Most of your activations are stalls just to make sure you know where the power pieces are gonna go, and like, oh, they put the medic squad down. I know the ballpark of where they're gonna want to put their heroes now, right? So there's not a ton of mystery. It is a thing that takes a while and rarely means a ton. It's an opportunity to screw up. it's really an opportunity to succeed. Here, I actually think it's a little riskier. I think this is maybe riskier than standard play. Um, right? So this sort of like a stall delay, useful at times with a transport. But often your transport is kind of a hero piece in your list, so you're kind of waiting. But sometimes they're big, so you got to get them down early because you don't want to screw that up. Or like you've left a big obvious hole where they're gonna fit, and the repair bots are all close by and all that kind of stuff. So um, yeah, it's you got to be a little cagey here, right? Like it's a good thing this is blocked from ground level over here because this could be spooks. This could be real spooks. All right, so we got to do something as blue. And then if you're droids, the answer is always just put down more B1s because their lives mean nothing. Their lives mean nothing to us. Might not be terrible to have them over here, but we want to maintain our B1 chain as much as we can. Such as B1 life, right? Okay, and pop open this guy. We'll conga line these dudes. We'll hang some over this way so we get some cover from those crates, but leave some real estate for future generations, right? All right. Galactic was asking me a question about Wookiee imports. Okay, so we're blue. We're gonna put the other guys in the other lab, right? We'll make the droids tell us things. R2 can hop in late. He doesn't need to start in there, right? Maybe want to not give away too much regarding the Vigos or the other stuff. So we'll go ahead and we'll drop this guy over here. All right. So now we're back to this side of the board. They've got to do something interesting. We'll put a grabber squad over here. I think we'll put them mostly out of line of sight just so we don't get plinky plonked. Put this guy over here. Right, we want to stay kind of in this shadow if we can. Right, and we're gonna go this way, grab that one. We need our other squad to come up here and grab that thing. I maybe have those backwards. Let's actually switch this guy out for the rocket. We'll pretend we're smart and we realized we were an idiot earlier in that process. It's YouTube. It's pretend, right? Okay, there we go. Right. Because we don't. The DC-15 squad is more likely to get chipped here, so they're more likely to be in a position where it's tougher to get out. So we'll leave that one there. The rocket guys, the way things are lining up here, the rocket guys are looking like this is maybe a safer play. It's probably not going to be that because blue is going to want to put, I think Black Sun's back here. But our next move for now will be kind of like a non-committal sort of one of these. We're going to put these guys up. The rocket guys are going to be over here behind this thing. So we'll try to go this way and shoot shotgun boys if they hop out. But from here, we can also run either direction with our medic, right? So we could go this way if Dooku ends up on this side, and we could go this way if Dooku ends up on this side. Either way. I think Dooku probably wants to get back here, but these are going to be problems. There's going to be problems here. Because this guy's immune range 1, right? The lat? Blast melee range 1, yeah, so they can't mag det the lat down. Gotta shoot it. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and we'll put our guys out here. This squad is gonna do one of these. Put our DC-15 in here. We'll leave holes for Cody or R2. And we've got a clone commander to put down as well. Okay. All right, back over here. We got to start kind of tipping our hand. You want to avoid getting a range 3 shot from these things if you're Dooku, which is going to be hard. Range 3 is going to be quite shooty. Maybe you don't mind if you can have a dodge. Do I have a scanner on anybody? I can't remember. I do, on the Vigo. He's over here. So let's start Dooku back here. We'll be safe. We'll get a dodge and we'll run up here at some point. Okay. They've got to show us R2. R2's going to be safe and kind of chill back here. Thinking I could go this way. I could threaten the middle. Red can kind of hang around and be available to come get him. Okay. We'll line up Magdets on this side. We'll put Magdets towards the center of the board a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a shotgun fight for sure. Okay. Cody will line up here. The old jump 1. I don't think we're giving away too much by putting Cody down. We're playing this fast and loose. You get the idea. We'll go here with the other goobers. I think that's all in cohesion. Yeah, I've played this game before. I know what I'm doing. Almost. All right, we'll hang this guy out here. Does that get him range to both of these? Yep. So he's set. And then the Magnars. Can set themselves up like so. Is that gonna work? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that would conclude our deployment. Look at the threat range on all this stuff. Middle, extremely risky for everybody. Shotgun boys are going to be hopping out of here with aims. Maybe observe tokens on the table, if depending on what Cody gets up to. Black Suns are going to be at risk of getting chipped here by Cody. It's going to be hard to avoid completely. I think he's got that. Let's see, we go to about here. Yeah, he can get to a range 4 easy. Yeah, he's well within range there. Yep, so possibly a Pierce shot there if they go early. We've got scanner range there for Dooku. Dooku's going to be able to threaten this thing. Recover, I think, is great for everything that wants to play Intercept. KP, I think those same lists work very well for Recover on this size board. This is the spiciest Recover there could ever be. Right. Okay, quick jump cut here because I ran out of recording space. Consider an infiltrate up here. Right? Because you could be... you can never speed 2 down anymore, can you? That's a little tricky. Right, I don't know this map in particulars. I mean, look at that. It's hard to slice that big old thing with a single move. At least from the opposite side, right? To get to a one lone goober, right? If your Cassian's chilling right here. Or Jin, etc. You know, and if you're up here, you've got crack shot and climb down. Oh, this kind of thing. Well, you just need your toe behind the edge of this little circle, right, to be in heavy cover the rest of the round. And you've got this thing blocking line of sight unless they pop around that from over here. So you could still be relatively safe. And I'm not saying this is like the most perfectest board. It's laying stuff out for Blitz is still like a bit of a thing to figure out. Because you want some lanes, right? You want some lanes for your range 5 things to be able to do range 5e stuff. They don't have to be wide, but you do need some angles that some shooting can happen. This one's maybe too, like this one maybe needs to be another little blocker building like this or like this guy. I just like having the height 2 stuff. So there's a height 2 thing here and a height 3 thing here, just so that the bugs can teach you the meaning of suffering. Yeah. Yikes. Bugs. All right. There you go. That's enough about recover, I think. It's I think recover should go if you're playing Blitz, I think put recover back in your deck, man. I think recover's not just for cowards anymore. And people are gonna be like, "Oh, I like to play that way." No, that's not compelling. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Let's not play Monopoly where you just get to start with half the property. That's not a game. That's silly. Right? It needs to, everything should be equally risky. This thing should not be able to get so far away that it's not possible for me to catch up. Right? Because your victory at that point comes down to just doing turn 0 right, or your opponent doing it wrong. And 2 hours of play should not hinge on that sort of decision. I mean, there's all sorts of little decisions that can make the game go poorly, you know? When do you play your 3-pip and do your big move, right? Like whatever it is. But those are all little decisions across the course of the game that sort of add up to a win or a loss. There shouldn't be a hole that you can dig that like you're just losing. You're just losing, right? And the 6x3 table just does it, right? Like all the action in your, even on a 6x3 table, all the action is going to happen in this amount of real estate. What did we just see in Invader League Finals? They played on half the table. And like you're like, oh, 6x3 is the way it's supposed. They played on half the board. It was half the table. They used 3 feet. There's 3 feet over here that didn't matter, and 3 feet over here behind Krennic's ship where everything happened. You're already playing this game. You're already playing this game, but you're playing it with this inherent risk of it going terribly and not being compelling. You end up with uninteractive objectives, right? We did the other video on VAPs. It's spicy. Everything can be gotten to and right, you only have 12 things. You only get to do 12 things. So if all your things are just chasing and you only get to take one shot, you've now boiled the game down to one attack roll. Or an attack roll that may never even happen, because if you get suppressed and you lose one of those actions, that's just it. Like the math no longer works because of the geometry. Here, right, like almost everything has a range too, right? You're 8 inches. 8 inches from being able to hit this corner of whatever's got the box back here, right? Like you cannot physically get away all the time. They have to keep moving. So then it comes down to timing and positioning, right? Like the things that should matter. It shouldn't just be the raw distance that makes or breaks the game. So let's just not do that. Let's just not do that anymore. Let's just keep all the other rules, but play this better version, which you're in fact already doing, and you're just in denial about if you don't think this is real. Like it literally just happened. Friday. It literally just happened Friday. Today's Saturday. It happened yesterday. Invader League Finals. Half the board. Played it on half the board. Maybe, 42 inches. Maybe they had one more little sliver over here. But if they didn't have that sliver, it would have worked out more or less the same, right? Yeah, there you go. Recover. I'm sneaking it back into some of my lists that I'm running on Blitz tables. Because this is the thing. This thing is like spooky to get to for all these dudes. It's a risky one. It's a risky one. Right? Look at this. You don't want that. You don't want to eat that shot. Yikes. They don't have scopes. They don't have scopes. This list is a little bit poor. But, conversely, nobody wants to eat the shotgun boys hopping out of here. Let's see what this looks like. Show me that sweet lap move we set up. Now we got to be careful we don't block this off, right, from our dudes. I should hit the full button like I know what I'm doing. Okay, there's a decent spot. Gets me plenty of options for next turn. Yep, just go all the way up there, snug into that thing. And what's that range look like? It's a lot. Just move up here, take a standby. You got the old hovers, right? Assume our Magna Guard did what we said he was gonna do, which was be cool, man. Okay, he had to be on this side. Right. Pop up here, take a standby. That's a good first move, right? No. Let's take a preview of this spice. Right, we're gonna drop here. We're gonna do this move. We're just gonna do this move real quick. Oh, we'll just do it with this. Can't quite make it to base. But look what we got here. Right? I think if you're this guy, you probably try to chill inside of this thing as long as possible. Just wait and see how the safe dice go. If you get plink plunked by crit guns and the rocket and whatever, which you will, but you got R2. You got R2 to make it happen. Chuck him over here. All right, you get the idea. Recover. It's a real thing. You should do it, but you should do it in Blitz because it's just better. Cool. LFG Blitz.